So we're starting out with this order. This is a really good one because it will probably take like 15 minutes. This one is going to be well worth it because of the time. And also this restaurant is usually on time. Some restaurants we all know historically take longer than usual, but this one I know is usually ready. So it's going to the hospital too, which I deliver there all the time, so I know where to go. Most people pretty much always put the same instructions, and it's always a quick drop off. They have like a nice pull-in area where you can drop food off, and they even have a table set up for food delivery, which I would think a lot of hospitals are like that, just because it happens so often. So let's get this one done really quickly, and then we'll see how the day goes. It is Labor Day, so we'll see kind of what happens. I haven't dashed on a holiday since probably like 2020. I worked Doordash from 2016 to 2020 really consistently, and then I stopped, and then I just got back on the platform now in 2025. Sure enough, that one was ready right away. I've actually delivered to this person before too. It's funny because I already have gotten so many like repeat customers where I recognize their name. Oh yeah, I've been here before, I already know what to do, and it actually makes things go so much faster, especially with people who live in apartments. So yeah, I recognize this name, and I remember dropping it off to the hospital last time. So just like I thought, just leave at the front desk at the reception area on the food delivery desk, and expect more grocery orders to be coming in because of the holiday. And I know a lot of people are at home cooking now, pool days, having family over, friends. So I was thinking there actually might be more grocery orders today, but maybe because it's not super early in the morning, maybe those would have came in earlier. We'll see, but normally on the weekends, I am pretty heavy on the grocery orders that I make most of my money on. But today it's kind of a toss-up, so I'm kind of curious to see because it's a holiday. So sure enough, about 5 minutes after dropping off the order to the hospital, I did get this stacked grocery order for Sprouts and for Safeway, and they're right across the street from each other. Between the two of them, not a terrible amount of items. Your order has a lot of multiples too. And sure enough, on the Sprouts order, the larger order, it's like ground beef, hamburger buns, cheese, sausage links, hot dog buns. So just the typical kind of like barbecue cookout food, like 105, 110 degrees. So everyone's pretty much just swimming and having barbecues and stuff. So we'll get these two stacked as soon as we can, done. It's gonna take about an hour to do both of them, which is good. It'll keep me on track for a good hourly rate for that $26 for the two orders. I just dropped off the first order for Safeway, and now we're delivering the Sprouts order. And on this 10-minute drive, I figured I would tell you a story about what happened the other day that was quite interesting, to say the least. Grocery order from Safeway, and when I dropped it off, I left it at the door, and the lady texted me, "You forgot the ice." And I was like, oh shoot, I did. Scanned the ice bag on my Doordash app, but I never rang it up at the store in the checkout because I forgot to grab it. So I asked her, just because I needed to know, did they charge you for it? And I was like, I'm assuming you would like the ice as opposed to a refund. And she was like, yes, and they did charge me for it. And then I got another order for a Safeway nearby, and it was delivering right by where she lived. So I just told her, I'm like, I will go back, I'll get the ice, and I'll bring it back to you. And I wasn't going to drive all the way back to the Safeway that she ordered from. That was near downtown, and she was like at least 10 to 12 minutes away. And I was already going to another Safeway that was closer to her. I got my next order. So I'm like, you know what? I'll grab it when I'm there. The ice, it was $5 total. I got paid like $22 for the order. And I was like, you know what? I messed up. I don't know how to handle this. I don't want to like do a whole 10-minute thing with Doordash because she was charged for it. So I just spent $5 of my own money. I was already at the store, and then I dropped it off to her while I was dropping off the other person's delivery. And then I saw a couple days later on my my stats for my pro shopper status that my percentage for items that were missing or wrong went up. And they show you which items. And I saw that it was her 2 bags of ice. So she reported those missing. And she couldn't have done it in like a split second when I dropped off the order at her door. And I mean, it was less than a minute later that she was like, you forgot the ice. And I responded back right away saying, okay, I will go back and get it for you. No way she could have reported that missing before knowing I was going to go take care of it for her. And I know, I'm assuming she has no idea that I spent my own money on the ice. But either way, it just shows you just never know with people. I don't really know why she would report it missing and when she literally got the item. I don't know if there's any way I can like prove that and try to get my ratings changed. I honestly don't think I can. I don't think that DoorDash support will do anything about your ratings. I'm still under the 1%, which is what keeps you in the like pro shopper stuff. So honestly, it's not the end of the world. I still feel good about what I did because I wanted to do the right thing. And like I said, I got paid about $22 for the order and I spent $5 of my own money to do that. So really it just lowered the pay that I received for the order. And I always try to go out of my way to make sure that the customers are happy and really give good customer service. So when she let me know right away that I forgot the ice, I responded again right away saying, I'm sorry, did you get charged for it? I'll go back and get it for you. And I brought it back to her. Don't know what was up with the reporting it missing. It is unfortunate because I mean, I don't really know any other way to say that's just a flat out lie. So it is 12:36 now, just dropped off that second order. So I actually finished early. I got the order at 11:49 and just dropped it off at 12:36 for the 2 orders. So that was really great. Those did go a little quicker than I thought because the orders were pretty small and easy to grab. So that's always nice to finish early, and it just increases obviously the hourly that I could be on track to get. After I dropped off that second order, I got this order, which normally is not one I would take. The reason I'm taking this is for positioning and to also reduce my dead time that I'm just driving around waiting for orders. I want to be on an order back to back as much as possible. This one is good because it's driving me right back into the position where there's the most orders. And I would already be driving north anyway to get into a better position. So that is the only reason I'm taking this one, is because of the positioning. So that was short-lived. The store is closed. The employee was letting someone out of the store, and then people were asking outside what's going on, and she just said, we're closed and we might open later today at 5, maybe. So I don't really know what that means. I would assume that means a staffing issue, or I mean, I don't know what else, maybe some sort of electronic issue that they might be able to fix in the meantime. Either way, it was closed. This has happened to me one other time, and it was just recently with the storm that happened. I had an order for Walgreens, and they were closed because their checkout system all went down because of the storm. And I did remember receiving a little bit of pay for that order, but things were going so fast, I honestly didn't even realize what the protocol was. So I'll put the screen right here. And so because I drove to the store and it was closed, I actually got half pay, which honestly I'm really not complaining about. So I got about $5, and I barely even had to drive here. So honestly, probably just wasn't meant to work out then. I'll see what order I get next. I assumed that I would just get nothing, but I'm really happy that because it's not our fault, they still will give you pay. I think the policy is the same everywhere, but let me know if this is what happens in your area too. Like if a store is closed and you're there, do you report that and then do you still get paid a percentage of the order? Because I really don't know if this is just like for everyone or if there's different rules in different places. Either way, we'll move on. I'm going to start driving north and then we'll see what kind of orders we can get now. So I really wasn't getting much after I got that cancellation from Dollar General, and I forgot that I actually had stuff in the back of my trunk in the car. And I'm like, if I get any sort of big shopping order, I'm not going to have any space in the trunk and I'm going to have to put it in my back seats, and I don't want to deal with that. I went home, I dropped off some of the stuff in my trunk. Then I sat there for just a little bit and was debating on if I should just go home and split up my shifts, get some things done at the house, and then go back out maybe around like 4. And I did get this order for Chick-fil-A, and this is a really good one, so I decided to just take it, and then we'll just go from here. We'll see if I end up going home and taking a break anyway, just because this order is going to be so quick. I might end up doing that, but we'll get this one done, and then we'll see if it starts picking up a bit. Also, what I didn't think about is that a bunch of places might be closing early today. So in that case, I probably want to just work now and just log off earlier tonight because there's probably going to be less demand. I just at Chick-fil-A just now, and they did put a sign on the door saying they're closing at 4 p.m. today, which is really early. So that got me thinking that I bet other places are probably doing the same thing. So in that case, it totally wouldn't be worth my time to obviously go home, take a break, and then go back out later. It's probably better to just stay out for one shift, see what I can get done, and then go home earlier. Okay, right after dropping that one off, I got this order. I'm gonna do this one. It's also delivering to a nice area that usually is busy and has restaurants around it. On Uber, again, it seems to be slowing down on Doordash. I got a couple that weren't too bad as far as like dollars to mile ratio, like $5 to $6 for like 1 to 3 miles. I just really try to not take orders that are $5 to $6 an offer. I am just gonna stay out for now and just go home earlier, because I do think that a lot of stores are gonna just close early, like Chick-fil-A is today, and then I think later there's just not gonna be anything going on. So I'll probably do that. We'll see how long I stay out. I'm just gonna stay out as late as it's busy. So it just picked up, and then of course, as I'm entering the restaurant to pick up, I get this add-on order for $6.50 right after I'm saying that I try not to take $5 and $6 offers. It'll be so fast to knock this one out. So far, Uber seems to be keeping me pretty busy. So it's looking good, and we'll just see how long it keeps up for. A lot of units, but it was multiples of the same item. So you can see the differential on the units versus item count. That's the only reason I was able to get it done so fast. It had one super heavy case of sparkling water bottles, the glass bottles, and it was a 12-pack, and I had to carry it up the stairs. And I'm assuming that a lot of that was tipped from the customer, which I'm very grateful for, but we'll see the breakdown later. That was kind of fun, like just seeing how fast I could do an order after doing a lot of these grocery orders. I just wanted to see, I'm like, I really think I can get this done way quicker than the quoted time. So now I am off to do another grocery order. The order volume seems to be holding steady, so I'm just gonna see what happens. I kind of don't know what to expect. I'm thinking it's going to die off in the next like maybe 2 hours because of the holiday and early closing, but I really don't know because I've never worked on Labor Day before. So I just got my very first DashMart order. I have gotten many offers for DashMart, but none of them have ever been good enough to take. So this is the first time I'm actually doing it. So I am pulled up here, and it looks like the instructions are pretty easy to follow. It just says that the shelf will be labeled on a number with the customer's name. This is kind of a big order though, so I hope it's not too hard to pick up, but it looks like from the instructions that it should be super easy. So that was pretty easy. I kind of had a big order though, so that was a little bit annoying. The thing I really don't like is they don't say the amount of items or show you what the order is at all. And honestly, that alone is probably gonna make me not really do these. Because for that one, it was like 15 items, and it was a bunch of groceries and a case of water. I mean, I lift up cases of water all the time and do grocery orders, but if I can't see what the items are first, it's really, really gonna discourage me to pick up the DashMart orders. So I don't know why they don't show you, but that's my only critique with that. There was also no shelves or anything. It was just a door, and then you couldn't see anything behind. There was like a wall dividing, and then they just had those windows that are like fast food drive-through windows. And then they would just give you the order. You just rang the doorbell, and then they would give you the order through the window. But yeah, this was a great offer as far as like the dollars to mile ratio. It's not excellent for the pay for the time, but we'll see if I can get it done quicker. I think I'll be able to get it done faster because the Target order is really small. Probably not going to do DashMart orders unless it's a really good one, because I wasn't even thinking about that when I first saw the order come in, how it just says DashMart pickup and it doesn't tell you the amount of items. I just think that's a problem. But we'll do this one. It's a short distance delivery, and then we'll see what the breakdown is between the two orders after we drop them off. Sure enough, dropped those off, and the DashMart order had a very, very small tip, I think $1. Great tip on the Target order, especially because that was only 7 items, I think. And I got really lucky. There was like shoe cleaners on that, and I had no idea where to find that. And the label was really strange, like the aisle label. I asked an employee, and I happened to be really like close by to it, and they had to open the cage. It was locked anyway, so I just got lucky I found that so quickly, honestly. Getting a ton of DashMart orders because I'm still really close by to it. Probably not going to be doing any of those. All the ones I've gotten now are all pretty bad. And yeah, that was an easy to pick up order because I didn't have to shop for it, but Yeah, I mean, $1 tip, it had water bottles on it. Just probably not gonna be the best orders. Now, the problem is we have this situation going on here, so it's really getting dark over in this direction. I don't know if there's any rain or a storm predicted for tonight. I'm hoping not. So far, the order volume hasn't really slowed down though, so I'm just probably gonna keep going as long as it stays busy. So as I was in the CVS shopping, I got this Uber order for the same CVS, which obviously is super convenient, and both the orders are on the way to each other and delivering really close by. So that was a super easy one to stack. So I did the Doordash one for about $7, and then the Uber was around $5. So that ended up being a great way to stack those. And now I just got this good grocery order, so we're gonna head and do that one. Only 2 items and 4 units on this grocery order, which the pay for that is just insane. It could be heavy items. I don't know until I get there, and then I'll see. But hopefully they're easy items to grab. And either way, for the pay, it's a great order to get. So I just got this order, and I did it super quick. It was just for Papa John's Pizza, 2 orders, really close delivery address. I never see food delivery orders that are this good on Doordash. I'll see good grocery orders because I have the pro shopper, but I don't have any of the tiers in the reward system. So I'm assuming that's why I don't see as good of food delivery orders on Doordash, but this was a great one. So I got that done really quick, and now I'm dropping off the Uber for Safeway, which was 3 big bottles of sparkling wine and orange juice. So yes, it was a little bit of heavier items and like fragile items, but again, really easy for the pay. The storm is happening, but there's already such a pretty rainbow. Now you can see it. It's so pretty. And now I'm driving more into the storm. Behind me, it's a little lighter, but either way, I think it's gonna start covering. Oh my God, look at that. Maybe it could just stay like this and not have a downpour, then this would actually be really pleasant. So I just dropped off this order for CVS. This was also a great one. It was really quick to do. And the storm never got bad. I literally got so lucky. It has been getting busier because the weather was kind of bad, but now it's like clear. There was like a little bit of drizzling of rain, but it was nothing crazy. But the way it looked, I was like, this is gonna be like what happened last time. Like it's gonna be awful, and I'm gonna have to pull over, and it really ended up being like so mild. So I'm so happy I stayed out and I got really lucky. Now I'm on the way to pick up this quick Panda Express order. Right after I dropped the Panda Express order off, sure enough, another great Uber order came in. Uber they really send me good food delivery offers, specifically like short distance, great pay for the miles. Like I rarely get orders like this on Doordash, if ever. I realized that the shopping orders on Doordash can be really great, and then the food delivery orders on Uber are usually better. So that's kind of how I've been going back and forth between the two. Generally speaking, those are kind of the best ways that I found to make money. So the Sonic orders dropped off. Then as soon as I dropped that off, I got this Doordash order, which right after I was just saying I don't really get high paying food delivery orders on Doordash. This one is a stack, so it's a food delivery and a convenience store, like liquor market type place, but they both go to the same customer, which I love those because there's just one drop off. And yeah, this is obviously a great order, and it should be really quick because there's no shopping and they're both pickups. So I just dropped off that double stack order for the liquor store and Chiba Hut, and it actually came back as even higher than the screen said up front. And the guy said he actually drives for Doordash and Uber too. And yeah, I don't know if he just knows how we're paid. Maybe he gave me a generous tip because he knows that most of our pay does come from tips. But yeah, if you look at that order, I mean, it's very minimal Doordash pay. I think it was $2 base pay for both the orders, even though it was stacked. I think it might have been partially due to the fact that he also does Doordash and Uber. So I just think it makes people more aware, where a lot of customers that they don't know how the pay structure works, and they probably assume that we get paid more than we do in base pay. That's what I would think, at least. But I'm gonna head home now. We're gonna total up how much I did for the day. Overall, I think I ended up doing really well, but I wanna see what the math adds up to for my hourly. So here are the stats for tonight. I dashed from about 11:30 to 8, and I was able to actually split pretty evenly between DoorDash and Uber, and that put my total to just over $27 an hour. So this pretty clearly answers the question, should you dash on holidays? Yes, I would definitely recommend trying it out and just see what works for you. Whether it's on a holiday or not, I always tend to try to aim for certain metrics, and this shift definitely blew those metrics out of the water. Let this also be a sign to you that if it's slow, sometimes it's worth sticking it out. It was slow earlier in the day, and I really didn't have that much hope for this going well, but then sure enough, late afternoon into the evening, it really picked up. Test out multiple shifts and find which ones are the most profitable in your marketplace.